super excited to talk about a problem that we all developers would have faced at some point of time, or we might face in future. That is maybe code migrations, or you can say code modernization. A brief intro about myself, as has already been done. I work for Samsung full-time. Apart from that, I create content across multiple platforms. I have mentored a lot of students, plus early career software professionals on how they can break into tech or software engineering. Today, the topic that we are talking about, we'll discuss a problem. What exactly is the problem? And how has been the efforts and what are currently companies doing with respect to solving that problem? And what are we building, right? How can that particular platform be used by more enterprises like you, or startups, or budding software engineering companies? Anyone would like to share any experiences when it comes to code migrations, or have you seen it in your organizations? Yes.
But there is a use case that I wanted to hear if it is in your part.
Yeah.
Basically migrating between platforms. So from platform A to platform B.
Okay. When you say,
what I mean is that I represent a company here called Mendix.
Okay.
And our competitor is OutSystems.
Okay.
That's a local platform.
Okay.
There is no state line.
Okay. Got it. So maybe we'll address this after the session, but yeah, we have something. Any other experiences?
We have legacy systems, right? So we have to migrate them using with the new code. So
Yes.
one difficulty in understanding the whole code to know the.
Yes. Maybe you will find some value out of it on how we are solving it, right? So there are multiple different tech stacks. Let's say JavaScript, we come across different versions every time, right? Version 13 comes in, then version 14 comes in, then the entire code base needs to be changed. So how can that be leveraged, and we can use AI to do that? Anyone else wants to share something?
Migrating to cloud is also,
It can be the use case, but that we won't be covering here. But yes, it is there. We can do it. Okay. So yeah, we'll be trying to see how we'll be solving this particular problem, right? So let's see the current landscape. How we talk about the current landscape is every single day we have built our code once. We work on some particular framework, we work on some particular technology, and that technology changes very fast. The age is not of static code, but we come across versions very frequently. We talk about JavaScript, right? There are multiple frameworks in JavaScript. We talk about React, we talk about Next.js, right? Similarly, version 1.0, version 2.0, the change is very frequent. Instead, this shift reflects the reality that majority of our time and resources are utilized from moving on from maintenance and evaluation from version 1 to version 2 to version 3. So we want something that we can save upon a lot of these resources, a lot of engineering time. You can see in the examples we have moved from JavaScript to TypeScript, React version 16 to version 19. So how do big organizations do it very frequently, right? The code bases, you can't imagine, they are like thousands of lines of code that you do. But how about doing it using AI is what we're going to see in this video. I'll not take much time. It's going to be a 30-minute talk, and we'll have an understanding of the platform. I prepared a demo, but due to shortage of time, we'll be covering up only the understanding. You can explore the platform later on. Yes, the problem is large code migrations are extremely time intensive, risky, and tedious. What problem comes in when it comes to code migration? First of all, code migrations are hard. When I say hard, once in a company at specific point of time, you learn about two different things, right? Version 13 and version 14. Your engineers should know about what are the changes in version 13, version 14, which all dependencies are there. How will you customize your code so that all the dependencies are met? So it is hard, and the knowledge that they will have is not reusable, right? Some new version would come, the new knowledge would be required. So the knowledge is not reusable, but a lot of engineering efforts and engineering hours would be put in. So that is hard. How can we customize? Next is, it is prone to a lot of errors. When it comes to code migrations, let's say even a simple code snippet, if you want to change, there are so many things, so many risks of introducing bugs, let's say regressions, or you can see a lot of side effects that comes into picture. How can we control that? It is not in our hands. So it saves us from a lot of errors that comes into picture. Third is, we need to do it manually, right? Currently we have teams let's say a team of 10 people or a team of 15 people, a team of 20 people, each handling a different part of the code. So let's say a particular migration that we want to do upon. So different people are involved in different capacities, and we need to collaborate with each other and come upon to the solution. So this leads to a lot of delays when it comes to code migrations. So the current, you can see 30% of the engineering time is spent upon code migration, code upgrades, its logistics. A lot of companies have paid a lot of fines when it comes to platform migration or code migration. Similarly, you can take an example of Spotify. Spotify was to upgrade MUI from version 4 to version 5 to make their app 50% faster. But it took them close to 2 years. How that 2 years time, similarly, you will see how that 2 years time, Uber has done it fast and they have done it in 3 months only. So what extra they have done, how they have leveraged AI, we're trying to build something upon that. AI developers, we talk about Gen AI, we talk about AI coming into picture, and every single day we have seen multiple different use cases of AI. With AI coming in, you might have heard of co-pilots, right? Co-pilots of the world. The extent of code generation is going to be immense. Every single day, everyone can write code, we know, but with more code coming into picture, we need to be more specific to code migrations, right? We need to know how code migrations would be there when there would be thousands of generalist engineers. The kind of code you get from Copilot or the kind of code you get from these Copilots of the world, it is general code, it is not specific to any infrastructure, but we need somebody who can manage those Copilots again, right? So that's something we will be talking about. So as a staff engineer at Google, I'm just quoting him. He said, it's very difficult to make a large change. Let's say a single large change comes into picture and we need to replace that in thousands of lines of code in our code base. It's not simple find and replace. No, you can't do that. I'll show you an example why it's not simple find and replace. But we would need a right infrastructure that can save countless number of hours, right? So you can see a graph that shows you how this code volume is going to increase with coming up of AGI, with coming up of Devin. You can see on screen Gen AI. So we are talking about all this, right? So in future, the vision with which we should work is we need that right infrastructure, right? We need to focus upon infrastructure more. That is important. But currently, how are big tech companies doing it? So there's something known as code mods or code modifications. When you talk about code mods or code modifications, they are very powerful find and replace. It's not simple find and replace, they're very powerful find and replace. And how it has been done by multiple companies. So tech giants, be it Meta, be it Uber, be it Google, they have done it. So Meta has their own code mod service that automates over 3,000 developers, right? So they have made a code mod to migrate one specific version of code to another, and that was an automated code mod. But that is specific to a big tech company like Meta. How about the general public, or how about normal budding startup? Similarly, Uber had something known as Piranha, which has saved 20 years of engineering overtime for the past 3 months alone. So the work that would have taken 20 years for migration, they have done it in 3 months using Piranha. Similarly, Google, they have something known as Rosie, which has modernized 5 million files at a time. So big tech companies are doing it. They are developing their own code mods, but developing these code mods also requires a lot of time. How we can optimize upon that? So you can see there's a software engineer at Meta. He said over the past years, so how fast paced these companies are. With these code mods, they have created 13k diffs and removed 150k lines of code. Imagine doing this manually, or imagine doing this with a team of people. So the things would have been totally different, right? So there is a solution for it, and we are trying to work upon it. How we can leverage the same thing that big tech companies are doing for enterprise startups, enterprise clients, enterprise companies. Code mod, as I've already told, it's a powerful find and replace, fast, reliable, and scalable. As you can see on screen, let's say there are two code functions, code snippets. We have a function with an argument state and state. So let's say if you simply find and replace state, right, in both these code functions before and after expected. So will that work? Will that work? Well, it's a very small example. When you will simply find and replace for state, will that work? No, right? Because the context of context in which we are using state are multiple here, right? But a code mod or a powerful AI generated code mod might be able to understand it, and it will replace in thousands of lines of code. It's just very small example, but there are multiple use cases. So we are trying to build something which is powerful find and replace script that is known as code mod. But why do we need code mods? What is the utility of these code modifications? Why do we need code mods in general? There's one known as dependency upgrades. They can automate this process by first analyzing the code base, then identifying what are the outdated dependencies, then it will automatically update them to latest version. This is dependency upgrades. Then there's something known as feature flag cleanup. Generally we use it in our code base to control the rollout of new features, and every time we do that, we have a lot of unused, unrealized, redundant code base that comes into picture. So how about a code mod that removes everything, that removes that unused or redundant feature flags that we use, right? So overall, it improves our code readability, code maintain it. We can maintain better code, right? So that is feature flag cleanup. Then it's enforcing best practices. So when we talk about software engineering or software code quality, you might have seen in your interviews also. Interviews specifically focus upon how good quality code you are writing. So how about leveraging AI for making our code quality better, right? Similarly, you can see with a simple context of a simple React function of use context, how the scale has went up when it was migrated from React 18 to React 19. Similarly, using this particular product, MSW V1 to V2 was updated, and the time which would have taken number of days, it was just done in a few hours, right? So how powerful it is. So how we are doing it? Let's say there's something known as CodeMod Studio. That is something that we're currently building. You can go and check that out also. It is available on codemod.com/studio, where you can go and build your own code mod. What you just need to give is, there's an input, there's a before, there's an after, and you just need to make a click. It will automatically generate a code for your code mod. And that code, how can you shift your code from one version to another or one dependency to another is by a simple click. So that by a simple click, and that is what is known as a code mod. This can be generated using AI. You can go to the platform, you can check out, you will experience this. It's super easy, super fast, and very, very powerful, right? Next is code mod registry. So if you are, let's say, moving on from one version of React to another, you built a code mod, it is working well with you, you can put it on code mod registry for world to know about it. Everyone in the world can use it, can browse it, can use or can understand what you have done, right? So there's a code mod registry. Similarly, if you at some point of time need specific code mod which is already built, you can search for that code mod and you will get it in code mod registry, right? So you can browse codemod.com, you will find /registry, and you can explore number of code mods that can be used extensively. Now how we do use it? There's something known as, you can run code mods directly via CLI. It's a very cool interface that you can interact with the platform currently using a terminal, or you can do it through an automated system, and it accepts a variety of, let's say, sub commands and options to explore. Secondly, we are currently working upon a VS Code extension for it. You can directly migrate or you can directly modernize your code in your VS Code using a VS Code extension. That also you can currently browse. That is available on our platform. Most of it is done. This was the platform walkthrough that I wanted to give, that you might have understood. We'll talk about Q&A, but if you are interested, if you want to know more about it, you can join our community. That is at codemod.com/community. You will get to understand a lot more on what we are doing, how we can migrate code, right? Also, we are open to a lot of new opportunities. The platform is currently free. You can go and explore. You can do whatever you want. If you want to be a part of our build partners, you can definitely reach out. There are a lot of companies. Like, we have been working on it for past 1 year, and we went live very recently, and we have got a lot of requests from big enterprise clients like Netlify, right? Call.com, multiple other clients, and many quality clients. And currently we're accepting a few build partners. If you are somebody who's looking out for a build partner, we can definitely check out and help you migrate your code base from one particular tech stack to another, right? So this is something that you should check out. We prioritize basically code migration, feature request, and operationalize CodeMod platform. We educate engineers on how you can do that. So the multiple things you can definitely go and visit, check out. If you want to understand more, you can let me know. We are open to Q&A. I have a few more slides, but maybe we can have Q&A first. Yes.
Can you talk about like how the actual code migration happens?
So code migrations as in?
Like you are saying there's a studio that gives us the code mod.
Yes.
So what is this code mod? Is it like a script or
It's a script, right? If you'll go, if I'll go, I'm not sure if we can give a demo, but it's like codemod.com/studio. If you'll go there, there is an automated script. You just need to put a code which is, let's say you want to migrate from X to Y, right? This is the particular use case. You want to use compute value in place of use memo. The code should be structured in this way as per React 19, and in old pattern in React 18 it was like this, right? So this is the use case. So to change this, you need a script. That script is known as CodeMod, and that script you don't need to write on your own. That script will be written automatically using AI.
It's something like a plugin that you use that scans your code and then
Yeah, but there are a lot of iterations that we do. It's not just simple plugin, but a lot of AI that is involved behind the scene.
so does the script make any AI calls? Like does it internally make any calls to some LLMs? Or
Yes, the script makes internal calls to LLMs, and after that only that specific script based upon your input is generated. Maybe you can try it out once, you will understand it better, and we can connect some anytime. I'm available.
When you say old pattern, it is some text only, right? Or it's text of what?
Yeah, it is text based or it is text or regex based.
So for this particular scenario, it may match somewhere which is unwanted. So those kind of configuration or intelligence.
That is automated. Like if it is like, let's say, can you repeat your question?
So you show the example of replacing the scale, right? You want the example was
This one, right?
so it's only changes
Yeah.
but not any other scale.
No, but there are multiple things. It will change these parameters, but within React, from React 18 to React 19, there will be multiple code mods, right? So you need to run all those code mods, and which all properties have changed from 18 to 19, right? So there will be multiple code mods specifically to that feature, and you can do that.
The name code mod is same as meta.
No, Meta's code mod, like that's specific to Meta. Uber has something known as Pirhana. Code mod is a general term. Basically, code mod stands for code modifications, but it's not specific.
Already using or meta.
Meta. It's just Meta's code mod or Uber's Pirhana or Google's Rosie. So that these are the names that they have done. But otherwise, it is in general you can say it's code mod or code modification. Yes.
codemod.com. I thought you said you have worked for Samsung. What's the link between Samsung and codemod.com?
Nice. This is not Samsung. Samsung is separate. This is in general a separate platform that we are building. It's not related to Samsung. Yes.
Who's we?
Me and my team based in Silicon Valley.
So startup.
Yes. Yes. No.
language to language also?
No, currently it's for version upgrades, majorly focused upon JavaScript, JS code mod shift, but we are working upon multiple other stuffs also. It is different from? I need to check. I'm not sure.
What language does it support?
JavaScript currently.
Only JavaScript.
Yeah, it's JS code mod shift, and that's the code mod engine that we are using, but there can be multiple other shifts that are possible that we are currently, that's currently in pipeline.
Can you briefly explain like what steps that the code mod like internally?
You talk about how the calls with LLMs and that stuff happen.
What are the steps like that it takes some identification or existing code and then change like what are the steps like? You have also mentioned that users might multiple other stuff, right? So what are the steps that
Maybe I'll help you show a demo offline after the session. Right?
framework migrations, let's say Angular code to React code.
No, not yet. But there is a chance that we can support that.
And you said that it internally causes LLM. So when you move to enterprise level, you don't want that going to LLMs that they don't know.
But every enterprise is building their own LLMs, right? So maybe we can leverage that also. So that is something.
That cause we could to our LLMs and not the LLMs that is our concept.
Yeah, we can customize it as per you want. It can be enterprise LLMs or your own LLMs.
Kotlin to Java, some combination like is that in pipeline?
Not currently, but I think it can be a very cool use case. Surely we'll talk about it.
There are typical use cases or like regular use cases. There's a legacy software, let's say 10 years old, and it's not well written, the design is not robust. So like will it do a bit by bit comparison, or like do we expect the design to be also robust, like when you code for the software? So do we expect like it will do a bit by bit translation, or like make some intelligent decisions?
Both, bit by bit also, and intelligent decisions also. That's based upon the AI model that is written. So that AI is constantly improving. Currently there are some limitations, but you will see both things together, bit by bit also, and AI intelligence also. Anything else? If not, we can close. Thank you so much. I think it was great talking to you. You should definitely explore, and you can join our community. We'll be more than happy to answer all your queries, and we can anytime connect offline. Thank you.